How's it going, everybody? We're going to bring you a brand new deck list on the channel today. This is insane. I found this scrolling through Twitter on the Extreme Deck List Twitter account. This is by Paul Margold. This is an awesome Gardevoir list. This list is fantastic. It's Jake Gearhart approved. It has everything you need. It's got draw support, it's got energy acceleration, it's got bench sniping capabilities, and it's got one-hit KO potential. It has everything that you need to compete with the meta. There's so much of the Lost Box and the Mew going around in the meta, dominating right now, so you're going to want to try out this deck if you want something new to play. Stick around for the deck profile. Huge shout out to all of our sponsors for making this possible. You can check out all the links down in the description below. That way you can directly help support the Shuffle Squad as well as all the content produced on this channel. Now we're going to hop over into the deck profile as well as some gameplay to see if you like what you see here, and I know that you're going to, but make sure you check out all the little intricate pieces of what make the puzzle that this deck is. My name's PJ with the Shuffle Squad. Let's kick it over into this video. All right, now first off, what we're going to take a look at is the draw support engine in this deck. Now we've seen Gardevoir decks in the past be used, but this deck has a little bit of a different take on how Gardevoir is actually used. You know, we're going to see Kirlia come in with the refinement and just discard a card from your hand to draw 2 more cards. But then we have 3 of the Shining Arcana Gardevoir in the deck, which actually has a different purpose other than drawing cards. It can attach energy to your Pokemon, which is really great here because we have so many Pokemon with a higher attack cost. So what we're going to take a look at next is the attackers in this list. So the main attackers you'll see here are just 4 Pokemon. We have Kyogre, which we know just annihilates the bench as long as you're just discarding energy off the top. It does discard the top 5 cards of your deck, and it can do 50 damage per each energy card that's discarded in that way. Now, using that, you can really wipe out the board, but you know, we have to make sure that there's nothing blocking that. But we have a big crab here. We have Crabominable V that's able to not only mill the deck, because a lot of people don't use that first attack here, but the secondary attack does a huge amount of damage to your opponent as long as there's damage counters placed on there. Now you're going to say to yourself, how am I going to get these damage counters placed on the Pokemon? Well, you can do so a couple different ways. One is with Radiant Greninja. We all know how that snipes the bench with 90 damage in 2 different spots, but you can also do it with the Articuno here. Now, Articuno is doing 70 damage. It's doing a little bit of damage to itself too, but it does paralyze your opponent. So they're kind of stuck there in the active spot in which you can load up your Crabominable again and just pile drive them into submission. Now, the last attacker that we have here is one that we don't necessarily see too often, but I think it's a really versatile tech card in a list like this. We have Delphox V. Now, if you read Delphox V's attack, you'll see that it actually can do 120 damage to 2 different Pokemon on your opponent's board as long as you put 2 energy in the Lost Zone. So we really want to use this towards the end of the game to close out our game itself and snipe 2 Pokemon and then just remove them out of the game, taking multiple prizes in a turn. Now, we'll also see that we have Pyukumuku that you don't normally see in a list, but it just helps generate more cards into the hand. That way you're drawing a little bit heavier into the deck. We also have a Manaphy to protect our own bench from things that are sniping us, whether it's a Rapid Strike Urshifu or a Radiant Greninja. We just want to protect the bench from things like that happening to us because we don't really need both of our Ralts taken out at the beginning of the game. That's not what you want to see. Let's take a look at the supporter line. We do have 4 Irida, which is really good here, especially with a Cross Switcher Gust effect. And we have 3 Raihan. Now, Raihan is great, again, for putting energy. Maybe your Gardevoirs don't hit, but you have the Raihan to take its place. After your Pokemon's been knocked out, you can put an energy card from your discard pile onto one of your Pokemon and keep on pounding. Now, we do have Klara to recover some energies if we need it. Maybe our Gardevoir does hit, and we just need that 1 extra energy to attack, and we have Klara to pick it back up out of the discard pile. Going through the ball search here, we do have 4 level ball, 4 VIP, 1 nest ball, 1 heavy ball, and 1 ultra ball here. So I think that that's more than enough on what you'll need as far as getting your Pokemon out into play. We are going to draw heavy into the deck, so I don't think that we need many more ball search cards other than what we've got. Then we'll move over into the other tech card here, which is Canceling Clone. Now, Canceling Clone is really good in a deck like this, especially being that you play Cross Switchers. So now you can play Irida, Cross Switcher, and get Canceling Clone all in the same turn. Get rid of that Manaphy, just double snipe something, and get ready for a big play at the end of the game. We do have one of the 4 Seal Stone that we can place onto either one of our Vs in the deck and just search that one last card that we need. We have 1 Lost City in case something's really hurting us. We want to put it in the Lost Zone and we don't ever want to see it again. That's great. And the Magma Basin, obviously, for your Delphox V to recover that energy out of the discard pile for that ending final blow to your opponent. Now, we are splitting the energy 7-3. There is more water Pokemon than there is fire Pokemon, obviously, in this deck, so you do want to rely heavily on the 7 water energy. So that's the deck list. We're going to try it out on the ladder and see how it goes. Hopefully, we get some really good wins here and show off the power of this deck. All right, let's see what we're going up against in this matchup here. It looks like a pretty decent hand, and we do get double mulligan. Okay. Well, we're probably going to have to start with Ralts. We'll put Ralts up front here. Let's take a look. Double Battle VIP Pass, so that's good. We are going to get to draw some extra cards. We've got a Level Ball in hand. Things are looking up for us, for sure. Let's take a look at what we get to draw off of this. Another Battle VIP Pass. No way. No way. That is cracked. All right, we're going to see what we have inside the deck here. We've got some Ralts. We're just going to put the Ralts down and roll with it. We can get Kirlia next turn. We've got Greninja for more draw. We're just going to put down some Pokemon. They're like, oh, they're playing Gardevoir. We're playing Gardevoir. Yeah, we don't want to put Pyukumuku. We don't want our 2 prizers out just yet, for sure. So let's take a look. We can kill the Battle VIP Pass with a Kirlia next turn, so I think we'll save that in hand. And we draw another Kirlia. This deck is busted. Absolutely insane. That was a crazy, crazy start. Let's see what our opponent puts down and kind of go off of there. There's a Fog Crystal. Pretty cut and dry Guardy start. We got a Fog Crystal out there. Probably see some Battle VIP Passes come out here. We've got the Ralts. So they want to set up their wide board state. That's really what they aim to do. Oh, the research. Okay, that hand was pretty good. They lost their Pal Pad. There's the Battle VIP Pass. All of this seems very, very good for us, for sure. Let's see what else they are working with. So they see that our Greninja is there. They put down the Manaphy. They've got a Cresselia. So they can roll with 3 Kirlias next turn and the Zacian V. Okay. So they're doing big things over on their side of the board, for sure. They're going to Roar of the Sword, get that energy down, get everything loaded up so they can start just one-shotting our Pokemon. All they need is really one attachment. Okay, they don't go to the Roar of the Sword, to the Zacian. They're going to go with the Ralts, which is a pretty interesting play, but now we're going to see if we can make our board state explode. So we put down the Kirlia. We're going to use Refinement here, get rid of this Battle VIP Pass, and yes, I think that using Battle VIP Pass first is correct, then going in for the Kirlia search later on, because we really don't want to draw into, and we draw the Kirlia anyway, so it doesn't even matter. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we can just use this Level Ball. We'll get the Kirlia, I guess. We could have gotten the Pyukumuku, but we'll get the 3rd Kirlia. 3 Kirlias seems pretty okay here. I think what we're gonna do is get rid of the Gardevoirs, because we can get them back with the Klara. That's perfectly fine. We can go ahead and do another refinement here. We'll just get rid of the energy. Again, Klara will help us out. We've got 2 energy in the bin, and we've got Irida, so we can start setting up a pretty big play next turn, being that we have a few Gardevoirs already set, ready to go. What do we want here? Looks like we could use the Canceling Cologne for the Manaphy and just get rid of that, and then maybe one of their Ralts. Pyukumuku seems really good here. We're just able to draw an extra card. What do we get? We get an Energy Search. Okay, so we can even use this Energy Search this turn or save it for Radiant Greninja next turn, is the thought process that I have here. And I think that we're just going to hold it for now. They don't know that we have this Energy Search, so they obviously aren't playing Judge because their Pale Pad and Judge is in the discard pile. So it's not like we're going to get rid of this hand. That was like a huge misplay that they didn't know they were misplaying on their side, not to be able to judge me. More or less, they're just going to try to Roxanne towards the end of the game is what I think that they would try to do to us. But we have so many draw outs in this deck, it's just unreal. I mean, it plays out just like a Guardy deck does, because once they set up their Kirlias, they're just drawing through that entire deck. And that's exactly what they did on their side too. They're able to set up their Kirlias, just go to town here, get their Level Ball out. Chances are they're going to draw into a Gardevoir sometime soon, maybe next turn. There's an Ultra Ball coming down. That's kind of interesting. Maybe they're going for a third Kirlia. And it's kind of cool that they got rid of that Serena, which is really good, so they can't Gust KO one of our V Pokemon for 2 prize cards. They're just going to have to swing into us for single prize knockouts every turn, but they have two prizers on the board right now, so it's really good for us. They don't really know what's coming, and here they go, loading up their Gardevoir EX after the Rare Candy play up in the active, which is a good move because it's an aggressive card, but I don't think that they want that Guardy in the active. They more or less want the Zacian V in the active as their main attacker here, or their Cresselia, just to reduce all the damage counters on the board. Okay, so we've got our Articuno out. We can try to go for a paralyzation play. We don't need anything. We're just thinning the hand with this Nest Ball. And let's take a look and do a quick prize check. We still have 3 water energies in the deck and 3 fire energies, so that's pretty good. Let's try to draw into something just to thin it out. Let's get rid of probably the Level Ball here is the best idea. We can go in and we can get rid of another Level Ball just to draw the Pyukumuku into hand, draw another card, and we'll draw that card, see what we get. As you can see, we're just thinning here. So and we draw a Raihan, which is absolutely insane for what we're trying to do, is just paralyze this Guardy. They usually don't play any switch outs. Penny's usually the way that they're able to get Pokemon out of the active, other than just plain old retreating and paying the retreat cost. But with Guardy not having switch or escape rope in the deck, this is such a great play on our part, and we're able to paralyze this Gardevoir for at least 2 turns, maybe 3, and then just put it in an awful spot where we can take a 3 prize turn. So we're just going to draw a card, not let them know that we drew an energy card from our hand. We're going to concealed cards, make them think that we got rid of that energy card. Wow, we have both energy recyclers in hand. This is busted. So we're going to go ahead and let's just get rid of this Delphox V. We don't need the Delphox V at all right now, and we'll probably need it later on in the game. We're going to evolve into the Gardevoir here, Shining Arcana. Maybe we'll hit an energy card, who knows? If not, we're just drawing cards. So raw cards are good. Let's try a secondary Shining Arcana. Worst case scenario, we can always load up our Greninja on the bench and get that going. So let's see, we don't really need any of these cards, but we could go, we don't need Manaphy at all. There's a Ralts and a Kyogre. I think I'm just going to take the Kyogre for now. We'll leave that in hand and just shuffle up the prize cards. Kyogre is going to be our late game play here, I feel. I think that if we take 3 prize cards, we can really just take another 3 prize cards if we let them get another Gardevoir EX down, damage it somehow, maybe with the Greninja, and then just go from there. So they're paralyzed. There's no way they're going to draw cards. We also have another idea of milling them out. If they get really low in their deck size, and maybe they're trying to play into Miriam play, draw that way, recycle cards in their deck, we could put Crabominable V down and just mill them, which is sick, actually. So I really like this play too. Here's the Gallade using Buddy Catch. They're going to try to boss us here, and not knowing that we have Switch in hand, and you know, we could even Shining Arcana into 2 energies and just manually retreat too. That's a pretty sweet play. So I think just going into this, there's not much that they can do. They have boss in hand. They can't really use boss this turn. We have Cross Switcher, so we can do the Cross Switcher canceling clone play if we're able to get the Greninja loaded up. So let's try doing that. We're just going to put the energy on the Greninja off the Shining Arcana here. We could Lost City them, but I kind of want them to put their Gardevoir EX back in play. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we could Klara our other energy back if we get knocked out, and then just Greninja them. Greninja their Manaphy. It's so strong here. This is crazy. So we have double Irida, double Klara. They don't have Judge. They could Roxanne us, but we have 6 prizes still, so that Roxanne is a dead card in their hand if they have it. They would have to do it after their Gardevoir and Manaphy get knocked out this turn. We could Lost City their Manaphy so they can't put anything there again, but I mean, we still have 2 more Cross Switchers in the deck, so we could always just re-Cross Switcher that and take it out and see what they can do from there. So we're just gonna paralyze them, I think, one more time. It's hard to say because we are gonna lose a prize card, making them go down to only 4 prizes, but I really think that's the right play because then we can do the Cross Switcher Manaphy play here, and that's really what we want to accomplish in this next turn. They aren't going to be able to switch out. Like I said, there's no way for them to do that unless their list is really crazy. They probably don't understand why we're putting the Gardevoir in the active spot. They're gonna most likely try to do some sort of boss shenanigans. I don't even know what they can do here, really. So, alright, so now we can play our Klara. We've got Klara ready to go. We can get Articuno back. We can get our Delphox back and 2 energy cards. This is crazy. So we'll go ahead and we're just going to pop that here. We can even put Articuno back on the bench as an extra threat just in case. Let's Cross Switcher play. Get this Manaphy out of here. Manaphy's not protecting the bench anymore. We're going to go ahead, pop up our Greninja into the active. We're going to throw a Canceling Cologne down on the field, negating that ability, and we're going to go ahead and take 3 prize cards here in this turn. This is so crazy. Wow, I love this deck so much. This is insane. So we're going to go ahead and discard 2 energy cards off the Greninja, put them right in the discard pile. We're going to go ahead and take our 1 prize, and I always forget that in PTCG Live, you have to take your prize cards based on the Pokemon going into the discard pile one at a time. So here we go. We get to take 2 prize cards off that Gardevoir EX. So again, I think that they're going to try to put another Guardy on the bench there. And as long as we are careful on what we do, we could really just play into whatever they're going to counterplay us with. I don't think that they'd ever really have enough. Let's see, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. So they never really have enough to knock out our Gardevoirs on the bench with Cresselia. So they do have to bring up the Zacian V here. And they're going to swing most likely for a knockout. But again, we have Klara in hand, which is really, really good here. We have an Energy Recycler. We have all of these things. We still have energy in the deck. So we could try to just draw an energy. We have Raihan in hand. There's so many possibilities here. If they take a knockout, which they most likely will. Oh, there's the Manaphy again. So they did Miriam. They did play that Miriam play. And they put the Manaphy back down on the bench. But I really don't think it matters because we're just going to paralyze them again. They probably assume that we have another Canceling Clone. And that's kind of scary for them, I'm assuming. So there we go. There's a Greninja. Greninja's gone. We've got this Articuno. We can bring it up and Raihan to it. So that's pretty ballin'. And they have 9 cards left in their deck with 3 prizes. They've got to take all 3 prizes after getting paralyzed, after not having any sort of switch outs here. So this Zacian is just going to take damage. Okay, so we get the Cross Switcher. We're just going to get the Cross Switcher, and now we'll just have to put the other energy on. Totally fine. We'll put another Ralts down. Maybe we could start to draw a little bit deeper. See if we can hit that Manaphy with the other Cross Switcher. We're going to have to take a prize, or 2 prize cards off the Zacian and draw our other Cross Switcher. We can paralyze it, I think, enough. And then we'll just have to start putting energy back in. There's the Crabominable. So we can go ahead and hit that, and then they're not going to be able to knock out the Crabominable if we do that. So we could just do this and then switch into it. We could put the fire energy on. We could Energy Recycler, hit all 3 energy on the Crabominable V, and then we're just fine, right? We're absolutely fine. Let's see, we got boss's orders. We still have that switch that we never played, so I don't know what they're accomplishing here, but they're just getting the Gardevoir. They're going to use Roar of the Swords, try to grasp at some straws here. Don't have much of a game plan left. Again, we could really just put our Crabominable V down, even take that 2 prize loss, and then all we have to do is just get our Cross Switcher after we take these 2 prizes. As long as we don't whiff Cross Switcher off of the prize cards, and they just scoop the game. That's pretty much it. That was writing on the wall there for that match. That was insane. I love that. Alright, in this next game, I will make a warning to the viewers here that I do make a few misplays, but make sure that you're just taking a deep breath, touching some grass, and then watching the rest of this video here. Then you can comment down below, because I definitely want to hear your comments and suggestions on what you thought I could change different, because I know I could make a few different plays to make the game go even better than it did. Now, our opponent is going to go ahead and choose heads for the coin flip here. Let's see if it works out in their favor. It doesn't work out, so we got tails here. We do want to go first. That's always good. Now, there is a question, do you want to go second just so you can try to Irida into a Battle VIP Pass? We'll see if that actually hurts us here. So we're going to see what we get for our opening hand. Okay, so we have Kyogre. Not the best starter. We usually want Kyogre at the end of the game here, but we have Battle VIP Pass in hand. Looks like they have Water and Psychic. Most likely a Lost Box is what's going to come behind these awesome Growlithe sleeves. They're very cute. Looks like we get to take a mulligan, so that's always good. Did get Energy Search. So we have Battle VIP Pass in hand, so we can really search out some Pokemon that we need first turn, which is great here. So the Ralts coming down. We can't get Cramoranted. I know that that's not a word, but we're using it anyway. We're going to use Pyukumuku here to draw us another Battle VIP Pass, which is absolutely awesome. So now we can go in, take a look at our Pokemon here. We definitely want Manaphy. We don't want to get Greninja Snipe, but we can also Greninja Snipe. Duality of the world here. Let's see what else they have, or we have rather. We definitely have to check our prizes here. Okay, so we've got 5 water energy, 3 fire. It looks as though one of our energy recyclers could be, we got both energy recyclers, so we're chilling right now. Let's just start drawing some cards with concealed cards. So, okay, we got another water energy. Now we can attach that and then really use the Energy Search next turn if we need to draw some extra cards. I don't know if we will. We can always use Irida to get a Level Ball and start our Kirlias and see where it goes. So we're going to take a look at what our opponent's doing now. They're playing Hisuian Heavy Ball, getting another Comfey, which is great. Now that is food for our Radiant Greninja, and hopefully we can see that in a few turns here just play out the way that we want it to, and we can get both of these Comfeys off the board. And playing a Colress's Experiment. So, if we're looking at the board, we're assuming Manaphy is coming down. So we do have to play into those outs. So maybe not loading up Greninja all the way yet, but we have to be cautious. Let's see what they do in this turn. Using Switch Cart is really good for them here too. Putting 2 cards in the Lost Zone from just the Comfeys and then 2 more cards. So they do have enough to hit with Cramorant this turn. Now, if Snorlax comes into play, not something you necessarily see every day, but I see more and more Snorlax being put into the Lost Zone box. We do have Ralts off the top deck, so that's pretty good. Let's take the basic fire energy. We know that we have Magma Basin for a later turn if we need it. We could always do that. So Irida, again, like I was saying, is we're going to go in and get the Level Ball. We can even get Pyukumuku to draw more cards. So let's do that first and see if we could just get Kirlia to draw us into some things here. So using the Level Ball first, then we have to use Pyukumuku before we start drawing some cards. So another Level Ball, which is great. Now we have 2 Kirlias on the board. Really good for us here. So we can go ahead and we can just get rid of this fire energy in our hand. Fire energy seems to be good. We've got refinement coming down. And let's just get rid of the Delphox. We don't need the Delphox right away. It's more of a late game play. And we have Klaras in the deck too. So we don't necessarily need to use the Delphox right now. So we're going to go ahead. And I think what I'm going to do is just get rid of this. Yeah, we'll get rid of the Ralts, I think, this turn. To the Ralts or Level Ball. Because we can always, again, with Klara, recover the Ralts. So we don't need 3 in play. And look, there's another Ralts in the prize cards, so that's fine. We don't even really need to check our prize cards right now. We should have done that, but you know what? We're going to live on the edge here. So we'll put the other Ralts down just in case they maybe have to escape rope into something. We can put the Ralts up. We don't really need it. And we're just going to pass here. I think that we don't need to draw any more cards this turn. And this kind of gives us an out to using something like Raihan next turn. I don't know if Snorlax is actually going to be used this turn, but if it is, we don't want it to take out anything really essential to us. So let's take a look at what we have on our board. We can't lose the Kirlias this early, so Ralts is probably the play. So let's put Ralts up and see what we're doing and see if they kind of play into our madness here. See them using another flower selecting, so they're pretty close to using... Oh, that's enough for a Mirage Gate. So Mirage Gate's going to be seen pretty soon, unless they just are whiffing the Mirage Gate. And more than likely, we'll probably see a Manaphy come down pretty early too, if they're being smart. And there's the Nest Ball. Let's see what they draw into. Okay, Radiant Greninja. So it isn't a Manaphy. They're going to try to snipe us. Okay, another Nest Ball. Okay. And still not a Manaphy. They might not know exactly what's coming here. So we've got Radiant Greninja on their side to draw some cards with that Psychic Energy. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a Mirage Gate here. So Mirage Gate's going to come down. Snorlax is going to be able to hit. The Cramorant can also come up and just knock out our Ralts. So they have multiple attackers being built up right now. So I really need to play into how this deck is going to hit us instead of the other way around. You know what? Let's give them the Kyogre, because if they attack with Cramorant, that still doesn't knock us out. And there's a Mirage Gate, so they do have to use Snorlax here in order to take a KO. Here comes the Mirage Gate. They've got all the energy that they need, and they're going to knock out this Kyogre, which is fine, because Kyogre, again, is a late game card. We don't need it now. We need it when our deck is super thin. And we have both Energy Recyclers, so we don't have to draw it off the prizes. So this turn, we have Raihan in hand. Snorlax doesn't wake up, which is great for us, so that gives us an extra turn. We can use the Raihan. Here's an Irida. We don't even need the Irida, which is kind of crazy. So let's just put that there. We can draw something else. Yep, we're going to get our Gardevoir and get that Gardevoir online so we can start not only seeing more cards, but we can also start putting energy onto our Pokemon. So we're going to use Refinement here and just probably get rid of the Level Ball. We don't really need it. We could draw another Kirlia. Pyukumuku is drawing another card. This is all very good for us. So we have Water Energy. Do we need the Water Energy this turn? That's a good question. Let's just conceal cards and get rid of that Water Energy. We can use it for another turn. There's an Articuno, so now we have an attacker that we can build up. We're going to get rid of probably the Battle VIP Pass. We're never going to need that again. And now we have some Fire Energy in hand. We've got Gardevoir. Now that we've used that Kirlia, we're good. We can go ahead and Shining Arcana. Nothing there. But we can take out some Pokemon and put them in the Lost Zone on their side of the board. So let's do this. Let's make that play. Put the Lost City down. Then we're going to Moonlight Shuriken and get both of these Comfies out of here. We don't want the Comfies getting any more cards in the Lost Zone. Kind of takes away their draw engine too. Our energies go in the discard pile, and boom, we took 2 prizes when they only took 1. So, and that is turn 3 on our side of the board. We're able to Moonlight Shuriken. So here we go. We've got our second prize, another water energy, which is great because now we're starting the Shining Arcana mill, so we can get our energy on our Pokemon the way that we want to. So that's really good here too. I know that putting Pokemon into the Lost Zone really builds up their Sableye, but I don't think that we care as much because we are going to have these bigger Pokemon on the bench that they're not going to be able to take out. The Shining Arcana Gardevoir having the 140 hit points is really good in most cases because they're not able to take out 2 at a time. We can really start building up our Gardevoirs here. We do have the Kirlia in hand now, which is really great for our Ralts on the bench just sitting there, unless they do take that out this turn somehow if they escape rope into it. I think I'll feed them the Ralts if I have to. We don't want to give them the Manaphy just yet. It is a little scary because we didn't put Magma Basin down, but I think that we really want to inevitably Lost City their Manaphy. So it's kind of okay if they do it to us because our game is a late game play. Just mapping out the prizes here. Even if they do take out our Manaphy, they can Greninja us. That's fine. We're going to take 2 prizes with something. And there's, yeah, the Lost City here is going to be really good for them. I think that going for Manaphy is probably the correct play. Getting rid of that. That way they can Moonlight Shuriken us and take another 2 prizes. Because right now they're just racing us on prizes. And they're trying to set up a multiple KO turn. Maybe getting this Articuno out of here. I don't know if their math is mathing right now. So we're going to take a look and see exactly what they're going to do with the rest of these damage counters. Obviously, Manaphy is going in the Lost Zone this turn. They're starting to KO some of our other Pokemon, which is good for us. So we think about it this way. We have Kirlia in hand. We can try to draw into our other Gardevoir. That's also fine. Now we can Raihan again. And we have Cross Switcher and Switch. And Canceling Clone. We have all of the things that we need. So we can get Gardevoir to stop them from KOing our other Kirlia. We can evolve our Ralts into a Kirlia. And then we're really just setting ourselves up for a optimal board state here. You know, we want to play into getting as many Shining Arcanas into play. Yeah, so we're going to do that. We're going to just put the water energy there. We could have done the fire energy, but I really want to keep 1 fire energy in play here. There's the Manaphy. We're going to put the Articuno up front, and then we'll switch into our Greninja again. Now I think we're going to start drawing cards here after this Canceling Clone. And Canceling Clone's online, so we can now Shuriken and get rid of their Sableye and their Manaphy. But before we do that, you know what? We don't have to draw any more cards. We don't need cards right now. We also don't want to deck ourselves out. We are playing, you know, an aggressive draw style deck. So are they, but they're a little bit slower than we are. So we have to keep that in mind here too. We're going to take our Klara. The only recovery cards to put cards back in our deck in here is just the Energy Recycler. So we have to be cautious. I know that we're playing Lost Zone box, so we're not playing Judge, so we do have to keep that in mind when we're playing through our turns, is that we don't want to deck ourselves out or come close to decking ourselves out. So their Manaphy is gone forever. Our Manaphy is gone forever. They can still Shuriken us, which is pretty bad. Our Articuno can go down into the Lost Zone, which is not great, but you know, what else are they really hitting other than our Kirlia? We have 2 more Shining Arcanas, so they're gonna, it looks like, just attack with the Snorlax. So they're getting back some energy cards. Snorlax is going to attack us. I really think that they should have gone for a Shuriken play this turn. I don't know why the Snorlax is up front. It's pretty interesting. They're probably just going to try to take out our Shuriken, just take out our Greninja, and then go for the Shuriken next turn, setting up that multiple prize KO turn, and then just leaving us to put something up so, you know, Cramorant will play into it at the end. I think what I'm going to do is just retreat, well, get knocked out rather, and there goes our Shuriken play. And now we can go into something here. We can try to draw at least one energy card and see what happens. See if we can paralyze this and just set it up for a KO. So we do get a water energy off the top deck, which is absolutely fantastic. We don't need anything out of the prize cards, so that's good. So we'll get rid of Hisuian Heavy Ball. That's totally fine. We can thin the deck. Now we have to think about thinning, even though last turn I was saying, hey, we should probably not thin the deck too much. We can get rid of an Irida. That's totally fine. We have two. We don't need them both. We can see what's in the deck. Okay, so let's go for the third Shiny Arcana. There is no possible way that we can draw 6 cards and none of them are an energy card that we need. So let's try to get at least one. We should be fine. And look at that, the first try, we got an energy card. We have another one in hand. We have Klara's. We're all set up. We're ready to go. We've basically won this game unless they escape rope us here or something. I mean, even escape rope is only taking 1 prize card. And we're so close to winning now anyway. We have 2 bench sniping Pokemon in the discard pile that we can get back with Klara. And we have our Magma Basin. So we're really just setting ourselves up for success. We're just going to thin the deck by getting rid of this, just in case they do play Roxanne. We have to keep that in mind too. We don't want to get Roxanne to 2 and then have to dig with our Gardevoirs. We really want Gardevoir to put in work and just get things out of the deck like energy cards. All of this is great. We could even play Klara this turn if we wanted to, but I think we're just going to paralyze and hope that they don't have it. Klara is really good here, and again, we don't want to get Roxanne into nothing, so I think it's better to hold the Klara in hand than just play it out and then have, you know, Pokemon on the board that could possibly get hit with something. If they have a boss's orders, we don't want anything to go back into the discard pile. And they're going to Shuriken here, which is fine. Again, only putting our Articuno there is fine with me. So here's what we've got. We've got 2 Pokemon on the bench. They don't have a whole lot of hit points. One's been hit already with the damage there, and then the other one, not a lot of HP. So Cramorant only having 110 HP is really good for us. We could try and play in now and see. Okay, so they were hitting our Gardevoirs, which is a little interesting, but I respect it. I can see what they're going for here. We can really Klara this turn because we only have 2 cards in our deck. So we can go here and we'll just get Pokemon out. We don't need the energy cards. We want to put the energy back in the deck. So here we go. We're going to do this play. Just get the Delphox V and the Kyogre out. They're giving us the thumbs up. They're ready to see the play happen. That's fine. So we're going to do Kyogre here. Let's go ahead and we can attach an energy because 1 fire energy is fine. Let's retreat into the Kyogre. We have both energy recyclers right now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to Shiny Arcana. And we've got 1 water energy. Perfect. And we take the other card, which is a Pyukumuku. That's fine too. We'll energy recycler. Oh, nope, not the fire. We don't need the fire. Let's get all of the water energies into our hand, or into our deck rather. Let's put them in the deck, and we have 1 final Shining Arcana. We only need to hit 1 of these energies. The other one just is going to go into hand. Now we have 3 cards left in deck. Totally fine. We're just going to hit the done button. Play our last energy recycler. It's a little unfortunate that we can't discard this other energy, but you know what? It doesn't matter. We've got 2 more cards in. All 5 cards in our deck are energy cards, and we are just going to pummel our opponent with Aqua Storm here. Let's discard 5 cards, and that's it. 250 damage to both of their bench Pokemon. They're gone into the Lost Zone. Absolutely bodied this opponent here. Cross Switcher off the prizes. It doesn't even matter anymore. Those cards are gone. All right, so there we go. Both prize cards. We got all 6 prize cards. We have won the game. Well, there you saw it. There was the deck in its prime, just doing what it does, drawing so fast. That refinement from Kirlia, and then the Gardevoir just draws into everything that you absolutely need to win the game. And then the Raihans come in clutch. The Iridas are such a great play in this deck. You saw the powerful attacks that we had here. We had the paralyzation, which our opponents really didn't have an out to most of the time. Putting those Manaphy's into the Lost Zone was absolutely clutch with the Lost City. This deck is so fun to play. If you want something new to try out on the ladder, try this deck out. It is a blast. Now, it is a little bit of a puzzle to kind of figure out a few times, so it does take maybe a trial and error run a few times on the ladder to see if you can get how the deck is going to sequence properly. But after you do that, the deck is flawless. It has so many cool cards in it. There are so many good attackers in this deck. You can really blow up anything. So I definitely want you to try this deck out and let me know in the comments below what you thought of it, what you think might be able to be changed, or if you think that this is a competitive deck or not. Let me know down below. And again, we're going to throw it over to our sponsors here. Once again, I'm PJ here from the Shuffle Squad. Thank you so much for checking out this video. We'll catch you next time here on the channel.
The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard provides premium protection for your cards. If you need anything from sleeves to deck boxes, then Ultimate Guard has you covered. If you're a player or just a collector, you know that your cards will be protected. Check out their top-of-the-line katana sleeves. These are the best sleeves on the market with a clear window for visibility and provide a perfect shuffle. If you're not a fan of clear windowed sleeves, then Cortexes are for you. These matted sleeves are like their katanas, but at a lower price. Their shuffle is just as good and the protection is superb. So, what are you waiting for? Help support the team by checking out the affiliate link below and ordering some fresh Ultimate Guard products today to get you shuffling.
The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectibles, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com and at the checkout screen, make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectibles will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
The Shuffle Squad is partnered with ptcgl store to provide our community with the best access to Pokemon TCG codes. They have codes available 24/7, instant email delivery, and you can save 5% off by using code TSS5. If you're a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, you'll have access to a special code that gets you 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Use code TSS5 today and save 5% on your next order of codes on any codes available at ptcgostore.com.
Are you trying to be the best like no one ever was? Now is your time. Head on over to Manaphy.gg and search out all our amazing Pokemon TCG coaches, where you can book all sorts of training plans ranging from deck help to full season sessions with your favorite coach. What a great way to up your game. Check out Manaphy.gg in the description below and take your game to the next level. Challenge yourself against trainers from around the world to compete for the biggest online prizing yet.
Are you ready for an unbelievable tournament unlike anything else you've ever seen before? The Shuffle Squad is proud to announce our newest tournament series, the Late Night Event, with an amazing grand prize that's bound to have you excited.
Players can compete via play.limitless.tcg.com's online tournament platform every Tuesday to get a chance to earn weekly prizes. And every week, your placement in the tournament is tallied by points based on your best finishes to earn your rank for the Late Night Invitational event.
The series will be conducted starting February 7th of 2023 and carry all the way through to the Invitational on July 9th of 2023, where the top players will be rewarded the grand prizing.
And the grand prize is a signed jersey and photo op with the entire Shuffle Squad, as well as a fully paid trip to the Pokemon World Championships in Yokohama, Japan. This includes hotel and airfare, whether you're a player or a spectator.
Don't forget to check out all the live coverage on our YouTube and Twitch channel of the top cuts of these events for every week. And subscribe so you can get notified where to watch the Late Night Events Invitational brought to you by the Shuffle Squad. Now get out there and start winning. We'll see you in Japan.